Hey YouTube, this is Christina from Keystone Beauty. I'm doing, sorry, I hope you can see me too. I'm using my camera again. This is not a camcorder, it's like my camera. And for some reason this camera decides it wants to make adjusting noises. I'm really sorry about that. I probably should just do a voiceover, but I'm sorry for the noise. I'm going to be doing a video for beginners. I did this one in my other channel, but because I'm starting fresh and I feel like I've missed a few things, I'm doing another one. I'm going to try to do more than just one. This one's has to do with eyeshadow and how to apply and how to blend. I know that when I first started, it was really hard for me. I was so frustrated half the time. I feel like I sucked. I feel like every time I tried, it just looked horrible and I want to wash it off. Just remember, practice, practice, practice. That's the #1 thing. And never give up. I mean, if you really love makeup or you just really want to learn, you have to practice. I'm going to have to say, I started really getting into makeup and learning about it on YouTube probably about 2.5 years ago. I'm not saying it's going to take you that long to learn and get better at it. I still have a lot to learn and a lot of practicing. I just feel like I am able to teach people now. I'm not a professional, I'm just a beauty guru, sort of. I like, to teach people or tell people what I know. So, if you're a beginner, I'm glad you're here. I really would love to help you out. I hope you really enjoy this, and I hope it really helps you because, sorry, I heard my dogs. Because I know how frustrating it is to learn and to try. My best advice for you to start using eyeshadow and how to apply it, it is something that I didn't really try out in the beginning, and that would be an eye primer. You don't really need it per se, but if you want your eyeshadow to actually last on your eyes for more than a half hour, or if you're going out to do something, you really want to keep it on, you're gonna have to go for an eye primer, or eye base. The things that I use, I've never tried a drugstore brand, so you should just go find one yourself if you want to know, or find some tutorials on it. Right now I'm using the All Natural Face Vegan Eyeshadow Primer in Buff. Just a matte, is it adjusting? A matte color base. And I'm using my Mad Style Cosmetics Awesome Sauce. And I'm going to do a whole new video on primer. And sorry about my face, I've been breaking out really bad. I have no makeup on. Okay. First thing is eye primer. I'm just going to be using this on this tutorial just so you can see an idea. I'm not going to use my Awesome Sauce right now, but if I was going out, I would use Awesome Sauce because it really makes your eyes pop and it really makes your eyeshadow stay on. But I always double it with Too Faced Shadow Insurance or the All Natural Face Primer. As you can see, it kind of covers up and the 3 eyeshadow brushes I would recommend, doesn't have to be this brand, but something similar, and you really only need 3 for beginning, I personally feel. You need something flat like this and a little bit firm, sort of like a concealer brush, like this, and this is from Furless Cosmetics. But you just need something like this. This is what you're going to pat your eyeshadow on, or pigments. I'm going to be using pigments in this video. I'll kind of do a different video on pigments and pressed eyeshadows, but use something like this. Then you kind of want a crease brush. It's kind of a blender. It's a blending brush, but helps get that color on the crease, something like this. This is more of the buffer blending brush. This is from Sigma. This is a Sigma E25. You need something like this to help blend. Okay, so the eyeshadows that I'm going to be using, 2 are from Antoinette's Revolution, and I'm going to be doing a review on them soon, and Sweet Treats Cosmetics. Alright, so when you're starting out doing your eyeshadow, you have to decide what you want to do with your eyeshadow. Do you want just one color over a lid and just do that, or do you kind of want a dimension in your eyes? Sometimes I go for one color if you're in a, quick mood. Sometimes I just do a quick smoky eye and use like a nice gray all over eyes and blend it up here. But with this, normally you're going to use more than one color to give more dimension and depth in your eye, and this is kind of the typical technique that you would do. So, you get that lid brush. Very beautiful blue color. All you do is just kind of dab it, and this is my #1 key to doing eyeshadow. Start out with a little bit. You don't need to start out thinking you need to cover your whole eye real quickly with a lot of eyeshadow. First of all, if you're using pigments, you're going to get a lot of fallout. Fallout means that the eyeshadow will fall down here, ruin your makeup. You have to dab it off, do your foundation again. Some people do foundations after their eyes, regardless. So you just use a little bit of the color, and you pat it on loose. You start off where you want to go. And another tip is you need to be patient, and you got to be slow at it. You can't just go for it, or it's going to look messy and muddy. So you just get that color on, dab it. And once you dab it on, you can rub it a little bit. Just be patient, slow. You just kind of dab it where you want it to go, and then you blend it in. See, I can hear that camera already making some noise. Dab more. Okay, so you kind of have one layer so far, and that's the blue. And then you just add a little more. If you want it to be more intense, you just dab on some more. Blend it. Like I said, be slow. If you go too quick, you'll end up going places you don't want to be, and it'll look really muddy. So just dab it a little bit, and windshield wiper motions a little bit. I know when I started, I thought, okay, here we go. Awesome. Really quick. That's the problem. The quicker you go, the more you make mistakes. So if you want more intensity, just keep on building it up. Okay, so that's the first step, is the lid. If you want to, you can also just blend it a little bit up here, so there's no harsh line. Windshield in the socket, right where the bone is. Sometimes you gotta look down to see how it looks. So don't put your eyebrows up and do this. You wanna just look straight, normal. Close your eye, blend it a little bit. Because if you do this, it won't look the same. Because once you do like that, put your eyebrow down, it's different looking. So you have to remember that. That's another step you need to remember. Okay, for the sake of this video and the time I have, I'm not going to do my other side. I already kind of dabbed a color, but I decided I'm not going to do the other side. Just because this is going to be a demonstration video, I'm just going to do one eye. So, you have that blue on there. And I want a little bit more intensity, so I'm dabbing on more. Now, you're going to go for this blendier, like pointy. You can just even use that brush I was just using too, but I'm just giving you ideas. And this is kind of going to be kind of like a cotton candy look for me, so I'm going to use a pink color. And I'm going to be putting this right here on the bone. And this is going to be more of the blending portion. So you dab on just a little bit, like I said, you want to start a little bit, because if you put too much, then you might mess up. I really hope you can see this, because I don't have a camcorder, I can't see myself. I hope you can see this. So I dab on a little bit of that pink, and like the first thing you should do, like I said, is just pat it on first, so where you want it to go. Don't start putting it on like this. You pat it on. So I want it to go up here. So I'm going to pat it right on the bone. Patting first with a little bit of color. I'm going to pat it on, and you got to decide what shape you want. I'm just going to make it kind of like this. And then don't close your eye, and if you look straight at the mirror, you can see what it's going to look like. So I'm going to pat on some more color, like that. So I put a little bit on my bone, and I'm looking straight at the mirror so I can see what it really is going to turn out to be. So I kind of want it like this. Now here comes the blending part, which is not too hard. As you really think about it, it's really not hard. I'm going to add a little bit more color. Close my eye. And dab it a little bit on top of that blue right next to it. So where the blue ends and the pink starts, you kind of just start blending it windshield wiper motion slowly. Remember, the faster you go, the most likely you will make mistakes. Just windshield wiper motions. Go up a little bit. And you kind of have to blend. It takes a little bit of time, but if you want it to look nice and professional and not like a 14-year-old who decides to slap on makeup, you have to be patient. Windshield wiper motions. And I hope you can see this. So that's what it looks like so far. Sorry for the noise. And it's hard to see in this lighting too, sorry about that. I'm going to dab a little bit more of that pink. So like I said, you start out in layers. Now I want it to be a little bit bolder. So I look directly at the mirror so I know where it's going to go. And you go in that socket area, blend it in. Windshield wiper motions. So that's how you do it. So I have I blended it between the blue and the pink already. Now I'm going to the V, and if you don't know what the V is, it's basically to the end of your eyebrow, go all the way down to the end of your eye. So the end of your eye to right where your bone starts, and back to your eye is the V. So you go up to the bone and over, or up a little bit in the bone, basically. This is the V. Is end of your eye, up to the bone, over. V. So in that V, I'm going to be using a darker blue. And this one is also from Antoinette's Revolution. And this color is in Von Fersen. And it's this blue color. So you want some depth in your color. I already added some color in that crease, and I showed you how to blend it. Now, using a little darker color in the V will give you more dimension and pop into your eye and your whole look. So add a little bit of that blue and dab it at the end of your eye and keep dabbing it until you get to the bone. And then you want to work the rest of it in the socket of your eye where the bone is. And then you go down again. Windshield wiper motion.